Ladies and gentlemen, Children Display Crash Bash Part 14. We are here in the second warp room, and now we will try and go after some of the Sapphire Relics here. As we saw in Part 13, they are proving to be harder than I thought they would, especially on some of the easier events like Jungle Bash. So I'm not 100% sure how well this will go. You know, this probably won't be nearly as easy as it was in Crash Ball, but you never know. It could be very easy, but I doubt it will, especially, you know, once you have like Kong get knocked out, Tiny gets knocked out, and you know, if Cortex or if one of the side guys are the only ones that are left, it'll make it a lot harder than usual. But anyway, so as you can see, they are wanting to kick more, which I don't mind. You know, as I've said, I think I said this during when I was going after the gold relic here, that I didn't really like to use the magnet as much as I like to kick, and I didn't really care for the gimmick here for this event. And so, you know, if they kick a whole bunch, I don't mind. It's just when they start to use the magnet, you kind of have to use the magnet, and you really can't afford to mess around and just kick all the time. Of course, that's a good strategy to use against the magnets, is just kick. And if they want against this, you just kick, and if you time it right, and it's at the right angle, you can you can use that to your advantage and make sure that you don't fail, or you know, make sure you don't fail. Make sure that you don't lose 2 points because both of those balls go into your goal. Now this is the part that I was talking about. You see, Tiny has 9. He is not letting any balls go by. Now he's resorting to using the magnet, and that kind of forces, especially if you lose your kick, you almost have to use the magnet just to make sure that you don't lose any points. And this is where it can get long and very tiring, and if you do end up losing it, it can get pretty frustrating. But thankfully, he's letting more balls by than I thought he would, and he is kicking. You know, that's a good thing. If he was using the magnet, you know, there is the possibility that the balls will go into my goal instead of bounce back into his. You see there, you have to watch out for what Tiny does, or you know, the guy on the side does, to make sure that you don't that he doesn't have any points going into his thing, or into any balls aiming towards you. Now, using the magnet isn't a bad thing, but you don't want to. It seems like if you use the magnet, the AI will start to use the magnet, and you don't want the AI to use the magnet because it usually doesn't end up very well for you. Now, of course, if you do use the magnet, it will increase the difficulty, you know, and it makes it more of a challenge for you. But this is already challenging enough, and I don't want to make it any more difficult, to be honest. Oh, wow, really? That stinks. Oh, we'll just try it again. That's the only thing we can do. And just hope Tiny isn't the one still there. I'm actually surprised they're kicking as much as they are. Usually they don't kick all that much. Yeah, usually it's only the trophy AI that kicks a whole bunch instead of the relics. And you know, like as I said, I don't mind it at all. It's makes it a lot easier to deal with the balls because they are coming at you slower, and you don't have to worry about any BS like that. You know, the ball's going around really fast, and they just end up flying into your goal for no reason. I might have mentioned this before. I don't remember if I have or not, but the kick for this is actually underpowered compared to what it was in Crash Ball and in the other ballism games, or ballistics games, I guess. They are, it's definitely, you know, as I said, underpowered, so it doesn't go quite as far as the other events will. And I guess that's because of the magnet. You know, if you want to use the magnet, I guess they really suggest you use the magnet. But let's see if we can knock out Tiny. But then now we have to worry about Cortex. Tiny's still hanging on with one frickin' point. There we go. Oh, come on, really? And now Cortex is being what Tiny was before, hanging on at the last, or is the last guy, and I'm not able to. Do anything. I'll give it one more go, and if I can't do it, I'll just move on to Tilt Panic. Now, of course, there are different angles. You can see that the balls do go on, and you can actually use that to your advantage, depending on where you want the balls to go. That will definitely help make it a lot easier to hit the guys in the sides first instead of just keep shooting them in front of you. But now, of course, also kicking them instead of just continuously getting them and shooting them towards the guy in front of you. That also keeps the ball in play instead of just taking the ball and shooting it at the guy in front, and then you kill him, and then you say, oh well, why aren't the other guys dead yet? Well, you've been using the ball to get the goal right in front of you. And if you kick it, as I said, the ball stays in play longer, and there's a higher chance that the side guys will take damage as well, or will lose points as well. Instead of just the guy, the goal right in front of you. And I'll definitely say this is not my least favorite, but it's my second least favorite ball game. Well, I don't know, maybe Skyballs is, I'm not sure. This is definitely a close second for disliking with Skyballs. So maybe that will keep the balls from going in my goal, and of course Tiny's gonna die, and I won't be able to do anything. Now you have to be careful, especially if one of the AI has 4 balls on the front of their ship. It's usually a bad sign. That especially if the goal right in front of you is gone, usually they can get a ball or 2 in there. But if they don't, if the guy in front of you is gone, or if 2 gates are gone and one of the guys on the sides are using 4, you definitely want to be very careful. There's not really a whole lot you can do. You can, if you pay attention, keep at least 1 or 2 out of your goal, but it's actually pretty difficult. And if you have 4 in the front of you and the guy in front of you is gone, you do not want to use that at all. It's not a very good strategy. You'll end up, usually, especially here with the Sapphire Relics, you'll end up losing points, and the guys on the sides will end up catching them, and you'll be the one to lose points instead of trying to make the guys on the sides lose points. And so you definitely want to be very careful and pay attention to that. I see that Cortex there. You want to pay attention to where the guys on the sides have their balls aiming. Just because it will definitely help. You know, just like you, they can aim. They can have the balls on the sides of their ships, and they can use that to their advantage to get to make you lose points. Going a little better, but Tiny's still staying around a lot longer than I would like them to. And now, whenever they, I was gonna say, whenever they don't, if they have a ball on the side of their ship that's aiming towards you and they never use it, you want to still pay attention and always be ready to catch it. You notice that I lost a point where Tiny was doing that. I wasn't. I was kind of hesitating. I almost thought, okay, well, he's not going to fire him, and he will lose the magnet. The magnet will die, and then he won't be able to shoot him in my goal anymore. And you don't want to think that until it actually happens. And unless it happens, don't stop paying attention. And now you can see Cortex isn't dying. He has 1 point left. I'm the only one losing any points. There we go. Now you can actually trick the AI sometimes to go after a ball and then shoot, you know, like on the other side of their goal, and then shoot a ball on the opposite side to where they are. As you notice there, I kicked a ball onto the right side of Kong's goal. I guess Kong's left, but on, you know, the right, look facing him, the right side of his goal, and then I was able to shoot it on the left side of his goal. That's actually a pretty good strategy to use. It really only works with the guy in front of you, just because that's a lot easier to do than the guys on the sides. But I have done it before to them. You just have to pay attention to where you throw the balls and where they are, and that's actually not bad. That's actually a pretty good strategy to use. Again, you want to pay attention and make sure that you don't let the guys on the sides throw balls into your goal, like Tiny's been doing recently. You know, it's kind of hard if it's not on the very, like, if it's not like right there. It's kind of actually pretty difficult to get the balls to go into the other guy's goals. Oh, wow. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what in the world that's going to do. So everyone's down to about 6. Now the AI will also try to trick you. You know, they'll go to one side of the goal, and then they'll shoot, and then they'll run to the other side really quickly, and then fire off the ball really fast. It doesn't work quite as well as when you do it, but you also want to watch out for that as well. You know, they can use that trick as well, so you just want to pay attention for it. Like Kong tried to do it to me just a moment ago, right as I started talking about it. And that's why I brought it up. Again, it works best with the goal right in front of you, but it can also work with the guys on the sides as well. And now this is the bad part. You know, the goal in front of you is gone, and the guys on the sides are not losing any balls. And So you just have to pay, you have to pay attention to the front of your goal always. Make sure you don't lose anything. And if the AI is willing to kick, you kick until you can make sure that you can get a ball to go on right on the very side of your ship, so that you can shoot to one of the side goals. Now, like with Cortex here, you have to crap, really. That's what's the bad thing about making the AI use, especially the side AI, use the magnet. I tried to block that second ball from going into my goal, but there was just nothing I can do. There we go. 15 minutes later, wow. That's why the ball games really aren't that much fun for a lot of people, because they take so long to finish. Especially, the matches with the platinum, or not platinum, the sapphire. Those matches can take quite a while, and they're actually pretty difficult. But I will at least finish this warp room before I quit. I may not get every single relic, but I will at least try. And so that's probably what I'll do. I'll give it a few tries. I will actually try, but if I can't get the relic within so many tries, I'll just quit doing that level and then move on, and then we'll go to a different level. Of course, I'll try not to. There won't be any short videos. Like Warp Room 1 would have been the only short video that I could have made out of this. Everything else is going to be long. Just because I will give it a few tries. I won't just try 3 times, fail each time, and then just quit. I will actually try as best as I can anyway. But anyway, so this one is kind of difficult to get the other characters to fall off the sides. You really have to wait for a wait to either have them take each other out, wait for a lightning bolt, or a wait to knock them out. There's really not a whole lot you can do other than that. They will help you out, or that's quite as useful as doing that. Now, you also want to try to help the AI along, because if the walrus was to appear on the other side of the arena, and then the weight would have shifted over there, a Dingo would have become unstunned, and I would have had to have fought him again. Probably wouldn't have been able to do it. Would have ran out of time, and it would have been pretty bad. And so you just have to be careful and pay attention for that. And so if you do stun a whole bunch of characters, you want to help them fall off. Of course, you don't want to be right in front of them, but you want to at least try and. There we go. You just want to sit there alongside them, usually behind them, and you can actually trick the AI to, make them think that you're going to go one way, then you can just turn around and go the other. Sometimes that will only fool one of the other characters, but usually you can get 2. Like I guess they thought I was going to go to the left side, but then I turned around and went right, and they definitely wasn't expecting that, so that helped. That really helped to make that a lot easier. Again, you want to knock out Coco first more than anything, but if you can't knock her out, you want to try and go for Dingo first, as usual. Really just wait for the because you're crashing, you really can't fight Dingo or Coco. Just wait for the bolt or the beam to give you something. Oh wow, don't let them pin you up against the edge of the ice. Oh crap. Don't let them pin you up against the edge of the ice. That will make you more vulnerable to being knocked off the edge. Now, if Cortex does like boost, and you have the ability to knock him off, I would definitely say go for it. But I wouldn't try to fight him head on, because sometimes you can actually. There we go. Sometimes you can actually end up falling off yourself. Come on, really? Now this is one of the bad things about messing around and waiting for the clock to run, or relying on the beams, because sometimes you won't get what you need, and then the clock will start to run out, and again, if you do run out of time, you will fail. And so you have to be careful and watch out for that. But anyway, so I'm actually surprised I've been able to do the ball events and the polar events. Usually those are the ones that give me the most trouble. Not the ball events, but the polar events. Definitely, I thought those would be some of the ones that I couldn't be able to do, especially polar push, or polar panic. Not melt panic's usually pretty easy, especially you can use the lightning to your advantage, and that will definitely help. So this you definitely want to, again, just like usual, follow your edge as much as possible, and stuff like this. This is what makes people not like this particular level. You get shocked, you get shot, and then you get shocked, or you get shot, then shocked, and then shocked. You keep getting hit with stuff, and that makes people not like this event, especially with the lightning bolts that go all the way across the arena. That's I'm glad they didn't add that in any more events, but I wish they hadn't added it at all. And the 4-way missiles, I wish they hadn't added those as well, just because usually I can never hit anybody with them, and they can usually hit me. Oh crap, I should have moved up. I knew I should have moved up too. That's the bad thing. Now we have to watch Dingo. I don't think anyone else can catch me in time, but Dingo is the only one that can really fight me right now. And I wish I had a pair of speed shoes, because that would definitely help. There's no way. I don't even think with a pair of speed shoes I could do a whole lot right now. Unless I got a whole bunch of points really quickly, and there was no way I could have 187. Wow. Never seen Dingo get that many in a relic event. And that's just one of the bad things about the Pogo games in general. But this particular event, to be able to gain a whole bunch of points really quickly, you have to be able to get speed shoes. Well, you can't really keep speed shoes consistently because of things like that. And so we'll just follow our edge again. And if you do have a pair of speed shoes and there are some around that you can get to, you definitely want to try to chase after them, because they will definitely help. They'll help keep the shoes away from the AI. They will help you get the shoes, and they will help you outrun missiles. That's really the most effective thing about the speed shoes, is the ability to outrun missiles. Unless they do that, then there's really no hope of outrunning them. Oh wow, 32. That's actually rare for the AI to get high numbers like that. Really? There we go. Alright. I should be okay to win, but I don't like to leave it. Now you see there, all those points that I'd gained, I only got 14 out of them. You don't want to mess around like I was doing. I just kept messing around, bouncing around, trying to gain a whole bunch of points. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, you don't want to do that, just because you will end up losing in the long run, because you won't be able to gain as many points as you could have if you just bounced around and kept getting 12s and 16s. And I will admit, it is pretty fun to do it to the AI, just because as often as they do it to you, it's definitely pretty fun to use the AI's weapons on. You use it on them, but then when they turn around and use it on you, it definitely stinks. But anyway, so I should have went after that speech, because I thought Dingo was gonna go after him. That's why I didn't even bother to go after them. And now the AI will actually follow their sides a lot more, and I think I might have said this during the relic the relic event, or the gold relic, but they will do it for here as well. And so you don't want to be around their sides as much as possible. You know, not at all really, just because it will end up messing you up in the long run. And I'm gonna need a whole bunch of points really quickly if I'm gonna be able to beat Coco. I don't think that's gonna do it. Okay. Whew. Again, too close by 2 points, but I'll take it. As I said, you just have to pay attention. You know, I made a pretty good charge at the start, but then once we started going, and then I started to fall off. I couldn't gain quite as many points, and Coco kept going after the majority of the points. So you know, there wasn't a whole lot I could do. It seems like Rillaru is going to be the one to give me a whole bunch of trouble this time. And I'm not able to get any shoes, so I'm not able to really do all that well. And it's odd. I don't know why they go purposely out of their way to run after the arrows for. I mean, you know, they're definitely helpful, but I don't see why they like Rillaru at the start just for no reason just jumped. Went out of his way and jumped into my points just to go, or just to get his to get an arrow that was around me. And I guess, you know, that is the you can do that if you have speed shoes. Like, crap, I got stuck in front of Rillaru. You know, that is something you can do with the speed shoes, and it is definitely something very useful you can do. But it's not really worth it. Like, the points, I don't even think he gained any points from doing it. All he did was just mess me up, and of course, you know, that's a good strategy to do, you know, mess the AI up. But I would much rather just go after getting, you know, trying to get points myself to build up enough, a big buffer so that I can kind of ride out the rest of the game and not have to get too many points inside. But you know, that's the AI. That's not an actual real person, so I can't really, you know, I can't. Saying I don't understand something is really nothing to understand. It's just the AI. It's just the AI, to be honest. But anyway, so Space Bash will definitely be a lot easier than the other one, Jungle Bash, just because there's more things you can do. You know, you can spin people down holes, you can knock people down holes. There's a lot more, you know, there's a big gimmick here that you can use. You can use the weights to your advantage if you need to. I don't think there's more Wumpa Fruit than in that event, or than in Jungle Bash, but it seems like it, or at least it's a lot easier to get health here. It seems like maybe the Wumpa Fruit comes out more frequently. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Now, you can spin people down holes, as I've said before. It's actually a pretty good strategy to do, if you can do it anyway, but you don't want to be caught around the holes and then have someone spin you down it or kick you down it or whatever. Now, this is kind of the slow period where all the AI is not going to do a whole lot, and so you kind of have to make things happen yourself. Ah, crap. And that's one of the bad things about not being able to throw very far, is because you... Really? There we go. because you can't really throw quite that, really far, and you can actually throw valuable TNTs and just valuable boxes in general down holes like that. And so it's definitely something that you want to watch out for. You want to be careful because sometimes a TNT will explode. If someone throws a box around a TNT, it will explode. But then sometimes it won't. And if you hesitate to get to a bot or a TNT box just because you think it's going to explode, you have to be careful. There's really no way to tell when a box will explode, or like a TNT box will explode. You just have to watch it, and if it doesn't explode within a few seconds, that's usually means that it's safe. Oh wow, I knew I should have been careful. Crap. That stinks. Come on. Really? There we go. Masks definitely are helpful. They're pretty much like the masks in the other games. They protect you from They protect you from a hit. You cannot stack masks, and there are no golden masks. There's only the one-hit masks. So that's just if you were curious if you can do that. Well, no, you can't. There we go. Kong's actually pretty easy to take care of on Space Bash. Just because he can throw farther, and you really don't need to throw a lot of the time. Like you can just get into a bunch of boxes and spin, or you can spin him down a hole, or he'll just sometimes fall down a hole. But anyway, so we'll just try again. I see, like sometimes that TNT that was right in front of Brio would have exploded. Sometimes it won't, and so that's just why I say you have to be careful. And really, you can't afford to always be cautious every time a box goes around a TNT, because one of the big things that will help you out is spinning someone down a hole, or spinning a TNT into someone so that they will fall down a hole. And it's a very good thing to use if you can use it, effectively. But you have such a short window to do it in, and so you really can't afford to wait too long to use something like that. Of course. And I can't throw anything over there to him. And the camera's pretty bad here as well, so you want to be careful while jumping around, or running around in sections where you think there may be holes. You can see how the camera kind of is jumpy. There we go. Excuse me. Oh, I thought that was 3. Okay. And you can see there the damage that it did to Kong and Dingo, and the damage that it did to me. That just kind of shows you right there just the damage-wise what the boxes will do to me, and what the boxes will do to them. And I'm pretty sure the Wumpa Fruit actually heals them more than it heals me. I'm not 100% sure though, but I've seen Wumpa Fruit heal, like big chunks get taken out of the AI's health for almost no reason. Like, I don't know if they just run into like a group of Wumpa Fruit, or if that's the case, but it doesn't really matter. I won. I'm happy. Thankfully, Dingo and Brio fell down a hole. Usually, you don't see that happen too often in the relics. Only on the trophies and the gems, and sometimes the gold relics, but it's not that common, and you almost never see it in the sapphire relics, just because the difficulty is so hard, or the difficulty is so high. But I'll take anything I can get, to be honest. Okay, so this is definitely going to be very difficult, and I'm not looking forward to this at all, especially going into levels like Swamp Fox, Desert Fox, or not Swamp Fox. Oh wow, look at that! I hurt Tiny with enough damage, like if it was like he shot himself. You can see just how much damage they're doing to me, and that's why using Crash is such a bad choice. Just because of the damage that, how little damage you do, and it doesn't really help if you use someone like Tiny or whatever. It doesn't really help out all that often. But using Tiny, it takes Tiny out of the equation, and then you have all the weak characters. While your bullets do hurt less than everyone else, you don't have to worry about Tiny being there to hurt you. And there's really nothing I could do there. I was pinned in between. I guess I could have shot myself, but I was hoping to get out of that without having to do that, to be honest. And you can just see me and Cortex, you know, the damage we were doing. I was hoping that would have killed Roularou as well. Sometimes, if you place a mine like right on the edge of like a corridor, you can sometimes hit. You can get it to go down two different sides or whatever, however you want to say it, or whatever you want to call it. You can get it going in 4 directions without actually laying it down in the middle, so that kind of protects you from getting hit sometimes, not every time, but anyway. Metal Fox will definitely be a lot easier than this. You know, that kind of goes without saying, just because of the lobbing bombs that you have there. Oh crap! Kind of expected that, but there's really nowhere you can go to hide. I mean, you know, if the other characters want to come down and get to you, there's really nothing you can do to stop that. Especially, you know, if Tiny wants to crap. Especially if Tiny wants to come up and get you. Oh wow, I guess he shot himself. I thought he I noticed that TNT down there, and I said, nah, that's not gonna hit me. Now, you know, obviously having the AI kill each other is definitely a lot better than you killing the AI. It works out a lot better in the long run. So that's really all you can do, to be honest, and that doesn't work every time. Really. Well, this will be my last attempt. If I can't win it this round, you know, if I don't win this round, then I'm just going to go ahead and quit. There's no point in dragging this on any longer. There's no way, you know, it's going to take me a whole bunch of tries to win, and really, I don't really have the patience for this right now. Okay, like I said, I do apologize, but the video's already near 40 minutes, and like I said, the constant failures do wear on you, but over time, especially on something that difficult, when you already know it's hard enough to lose, and it's hard enough to win, and you have to win under certain circumstances, there's just really nothing you can do. But anyway, so thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is how many balls did I catch with my magnet in all the rounds of Beach Ball. Thank you for watching, and next time we will try to do some of the relics here in Warp Room 3. So until then, later everyone.